films and politics make a heady cocktail of power and glamour, while some film personalities and actors are able to make a smooth transition as netas, many others fumble and falter. Hello and welcome to India Post Live. Today the topic of discussion at the conversation on India Post Live, which is India's first live news conversation web TV, is all about actors turned politicians, the Bollywood heroes to the southern cine stars. Take a look at this video.
MGR was God to his supporters. The three-time Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, MGR remained the reigning deity of Tamil cinema for 3 decades. He also became a successful politician and till today is the only Tamil leader to get re-elected for a second term. DMK patriarch Karunanidhi was a well-known scriptwriter. The present Chief Minister Jayalalitha was MGR's on-screen leading lady for nearly 2 decades. In neighbouring Andhra Pradesh, megastar N.T. Rama Rao reached an iconic status in show business as well as in politics. The trend continues with Chiranjeevi and so many other actors. In the world's largest cinema producing industry, the Bollywood has also seen popular actors joining politics. Amitabh Bachchan, Jaya Bachchan, Govinda, Vinod Khanna, Dharmendra, Shatrughan Sinha, Hema Malini, Raj Babbar, etc. have also dabbled in politics. But not many have stayed put, nor have they been as successful leaders as those in the south. This time, Chandigarh is seeing a star-studded election campaign. Bollywood actors Gul Banag and Kiran Kher are contesting as AAP and BJP candidates respectively. Would this too end up as a short-term flirtation with power? Or will they be the change makers in the Bollywood? Whatever they do, it would be difficult to match up to the record of the southern stars.
Well, very interesting conversation today on India Post Live. We would love to hear from you, your comments and Skype calls, and you can tweet also about the show. To take the conversation forward, we have in the studio with us two very interesting guests. We have Mr. Anuj Kumar, film critic with the Hindu newspaper, and Asha Khosa, who's a senior journalist. We'll also have a guest on Skype. We'll be joining him very soon from Hyderabad. I wanted to ask you, Mr. Anuj, can you tell us how the transition happens, how easy or smooth it is? They do add the star power, the glamour quotient, but do they just remain star campaigners and nothing beyond that?
It depends on person to person. It depends on star to star. Some people are there just for indulgence and they just to kind of add one more feather in their cap and all that. And some are there for commitment. Like Raj Babbar is there, who was there in student politics right from his student days. So it depends on person to person. Some people are kind of there for long-term kind of commitment and work hard. Like Jayaprada is a good example, who has worked in Rampur. And some people are there just to kind of when their film careers are fading, so they come to kind of politics to garner some kind of limelight or have a kind of second inning of sorts. So it depends on person to person.
Very, very interesting point. On that note, we'll bring in our Skype caller, Mr. Madhav Prasad, who has also written a book on cine politics and has been closely following this topic, especially with southern film stars turned politicians. He's also a faculty member at the Foreign Languages, English and Foreign Languages University in Hyderabad. Thank you, Mr. Prasad, for joining us. We want to hear your thoughts and experiences while writing your book on cine politics, and how different or easy is it for southern film stars, the demigods that they become, to be actually making a successful name in the political arena.
Yeah, thank you for having me on this program. It's a very, my sense is that there are two kinds of, phenomena, both are very slightly different from each other. One is, if you are a celebrity, you can cash in your celebrity, your name, name recognition or face recognition. So it can be anybody. It can be a film star. It can be a sports person. It can be some music, and it's quite a range of things. That's celebrities. And I think most of the people who come into politics, even from the film industry, are actually using that celebrity status, and that's what you get. The widespread phenomenon of stars coming into politics is about celebrity status. The other phenomenon, which actually what I studied in depth in the South, it's a little more than that. That is because they not only bring their celebrity status, but they actually, even before they come to politics, elections and
Right.
parties and so on, people have given them some kind of political status already, even before that. So, for instance, if you take the question of Rajkumar in Karnataka, he never came into politics, but he has the same kind of political power over certain masses of people, which others like MGR or NTR, who started the political parties, might have. So that means that this is not only a phenomenon which can be studied only after the election. They start running for election. So that is a very distinctive, and I think that's what is specific to these three states in the south. They have this kind of political power, which can be, of course, brought into electoral politics, but need not be also, right? And so this is the two kinds of things, and like anybody else, film people also would like to, if they have the sort of interest in it, go into politics. But that is, as I said, it can be comparable to any other different types of people also.
Professor
And
Prasad, I just wanted to bring in this aspect. How do the Bollywood stars, not many have been able to actually launch a political outfit when they do make their, they make their debut in politics. But as compared to those in the south, the three industries where the southern stars are very popular, they already have a mass following. They only cash in on that or utilize that to, propel themselves into a political career, and they launch a party for themselves. That actually puts them, a little bit in contrast to their Bollywood counterparts. What do you make of this kind of an aspect?
because I think one of the biggest factors in trying to understand that is the fact that, politically speaking, these states in the south, they have there is a certain kind of gap between, because they are nationalities. And one perception of India is that it's a multinational federation, and whereas in the northern states, the equation between India being Indian and being person from UP, Bihar.
Right. We seem to have some technical difficulties. Asha, I'll bring you in on this point. You had a very interesting perspective when we were speaking about this topic, about how this is what sets these two, kind of fraternities, the Bollywood versus the southern film stars. It's the fact that they're not able to they only get a ticket to a certain party, the Bollywood stars, and then they're used as star campaigners. A few of them manage to make a good political start, whereas the ones in the south are doing the exact opposite. What are your thoughts on it?
Actually, there are two types of people. One is that who are roped in for some period of time to campaign for political parties, and thereby they also show their political affiliation. So that is one kind of people. They come and go and have some kind of loose relationship with the party they're campaigning for. But there are other people who would love to be part of the political setup. They want to become MPs, they want to become MLAs, and they want to remain in the limelight. They come into the top apex bodies of political parties. So they are making a choice. They want to be part of the bigger political setup. So there are two kinds of people. But the difference between South and North probably is that while the northern politicians, say Bollywood, we call them Bollywood politicians, they are they don't have a long career. They come and just remain there as candlesticks, nothing beyond that. You know, they haven't contributed much, be it Hema Malini, be it Govinda. I mean, they come and they get elected because they are very famous. Sometimes the political wave is in favor of the parties, in favor of the parties they are contesting for, and they get elected. After that, they're just sitting there. They don't move further. They don't want a career per se in that particular you know, new field of activity. While in South, we have seen people go up. I mean, it's a second career for them, and they rise to the pinnacle of that career. I think these are two different aspects of North and South.
Interestingly, we also have a tweets coming in on our Twitter handle, hashtag India Post Live. Snow Leopard says politicians are the biggest actors. So I guess for actors, this seems to be the next logical step. We want to hear your voices, your thoughts and comments. So take forward and participate in the conversation at India Post Live on our website, our Facebook page and our Twitter handle. And if you have questions that you can pose to our guests or our Skype caller, we would really welcome that. Anuj, if you could tell us a little more about how does this phenomena really unravel? Are these actors able to ever learn the ropes of the political system, of being in the Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha, either ways?
Well, the thing is that in India, the credibility of a politician is on an all-time low. So, and people are looking for role models. So, in actors, they find those role models on a screen, and they think that they will kind of translate that kind of charisma in real life as well. In South, it has happened smoothly. We talk of Mr. Kejriwal rising so quickly. Mr. N.T. Rama Rao made a party, and within 10 months he was in power. So that kind of they idolize these kind of film stars, and they have more or less kind of fulfilled those kind of that faith. But in the north, it has been a kind of a slow process, and depends on kind of the audience we have, and also there those people were playing those kind of roles in films as well, like M.G. Ramachandran and N.T. Rama Rao. So people can kind of link between the real and the real. Here things are difficult. Like Mr. Raj Babbar was always playing negative roles, but as a politician he's successful. He even went on to defeat the daughter-in-law of Mulayam Singh Yadav. So it was a big victory. And so it depends, as I said, depends on how much commitment you kind of and how much time you give it. Like in this election, there is so little time. The political parties have roped in all these stars because they get attention.
Right.
So in this election, I see one of the reasons why so many people have got these kind of tickets is because that political parties want the kind of a quick kind of connect.
And grab eyeballs, get as many
supporters, and they know that their kind of their candidates, their local people haven't done that kind of job.
Right.
So which they were expected to. So they think that this kind of thing will quickly give them some kind of mileage and bring them to the parliament.
Right. Yeah. Professor has joined us again. Thank you again, Professor. If you could tell us how different is it when they actually get on to being in power, these southern cine stars, are they able to deliver to their promises? How are they able to justify the real from the real image, and do they make good netas for all their followers who manage to get them elected?
Yeah, well, it's a very contradictory phenomenon. You can't. One of the things about these film star politicians in South India is they don't represent class interest. Normally, when you think of a political party, you think, okay, they represent, capitalists or labor or Dalits or upper caste. So, you say you have one. Every party seems to have some core constituency. But the problem with this kind of stars is that they have a constituency of aspiration rather than interests, protecting interests. That's not what they have. And that's why they tend to be very arbitrary in their actions. They're not serving the interests of a class that elected them in some stable way. Because the very attraction of these leaders for the masses is that they are giving them something different, and what I think is it's what I call it political existence. People aspire for political existence, for recognition, and in some way, stars are. I think it's changing now. I think today it's no longer that kind of thing doesn't prevail, but in the past, in these three states and these three MGR, NTR, Rajkumar, what they provided was a kind of political recognition and existence which otherwise they were not finding in the Indian, larger Indian Republican space. And so that is all that their function. Otherwise, as people for making economic policy, etc., they may do some good things. Like, for instance, MGR is one of the, he pioneered the midday meal scheme. And, at that time, people laughed at it. And they said, this is the kind of populist waste of resources and so on. Today, the whole world recognizes the midday meal scheme as a vital thing, and people like Amartya Sen are also arguing that you must provide basic nutrition to children to make them come to school.
Right.
Now, he did that. So, but I can't say that it's based on a very solid program, well thought out program. It's based on some more spontaneous kind of understanding of what people need or something like that.
Right. Professor, on this, one of our panelists, Miss Asha Khosa, has a question about specifically the Malayalam film industry. Asha, go ahead.
I was just wondering, when we researched, we found that Malayalam actors, they are not paid that well. The scale of that industry is not as large as that of the other southern film industries. Is that the reason why Malayali actors don't become politicians?
Yeah. Well, there are a couple of reasons, I think. I mean, a few. One is that the social composition of Kerala is different from the other three states.
I think we've lost an audio. We have a technical difficulty there. But Professor Prasad will be joining us shortly again. We'll try and get him back. But Asha, that's what he's trying to say, that there are several factors at play.
Yeah, we would love to hear him on this. And earlier, I think he was talking about, what I could gather, he was talking about, the identity and films. Perhaps he was suggesting that when we lost contact with him, he was suggesting that in South India, there is a strong sense of cultural identity. Right. Every state has a distinct sub-nationalism, that wave of sub-nationalism, if I may call it, while the Bollywood doesn't represent a cultural identity. True. It doesn't represent a sub-national identity. And that is the reason why people in South can kind of identify themselves with the actors on screen, while in Bollywood that may not be the case. Bollywood films are mostly on what? Make-believe. They happen in a make-believe world, while the southern films mostly happen in an actual cultural milieu. Right. So it's easy for voters to identify with the mega star. Probably that is the reason. And I was just thinking, I think he was hinting at that when we lost connection.
And I believe also Bollywood has a multicultural mix of actors from different backgrounds, different
the point about Kerala is that in Kerala the cinematic literacy is very high. So people kind of distinguish between real and real, even in Bengal. So I am surprised this time that so many tickets have been given from the Bengali film industry.
But in Bengal,
desperate measures.
Yeah. So it's in Kerala it's very high. People kind of, even people who are not kind of in so many kind of in urban space, they also understand the nitty-gritties of cinema and what the film is trying to say beneath the veneer. So I think that's the reason that not so many politicians have come out from.
Right.
From
but
Kerala.
one thing which actually baffles me as a viewer and as a voter is, a megastar, say for example Amitabh Bachchan, he is demigod for lakhs and lakhs of people. He
across
is
cultures, across
world.
states.
Right.
I mean, why at the end of it he should say, I want to become a politician? I'm just trying to gauge his mind of an actor after he's becoming so successful. What more they want in life, so that they want to become politicians, and that also when they become politicians, they don't come up with any new ideas. Why is it so? I have not been able to find
we can't
answers.
gauge the mind of a politician or an
Yeah,
actor, but
it
the
is
thing is,
intriguing.
it's very intriguing. But he has those kind of family relations with the family, with the Gandhi family. That's why he got into it. And then those Bofors charges and kind of made him kind of
They've
move
always
out.
been a very politically opinionated family.
Right,
You know,
right,
somebody who's
right,
always enjoyed a new
right,
space.
right. And he has played those kind of characters also.
Characters as well.
Like Main Azad Hoon.
And he blogs a lot on,
Right.
you know, social
Even
issues.
now he's playing
He's
the
very- yes.
Boothnath Returns. He's playing kind of, he's fighting an election as a booth.
Okay.
So that is also something, and the film is releasing next week. So it is kind of that he's
An
not
extension of his on-screen persona.
It's not that he's not kind of politically kind of motivated or politically involved in the process, but the thing is that he wants to keep two things separate now. That's it.
I wanted to know your thoughts, your perspective on the fact that taking Amitabh Bachchan, his you know transition or his you know role, his relations with the Gandhi family were well known. They had a fallout. He was closely associated with Amar Singh. Do you think there's also Sanjay Dutt who was propped up
Yeah.
and motivated by Amar Singh, you know, to make a political debut,
Right.
but it was always that image that Sanjay Dutt had, which he wasn't able to break away from allegations
Right.
of, you know, criminal charges, his court cases. How does that
It depends.
dynamic
I will say
work?
the same thing, that it depends on the individual. Sanjay Dutt's father was a kind of a successful politician.
His sister
His
is.
sister is, and Mr. Bachchan's wife is also into politics. So it's not that they are.
she's
it's
very
not,
active, I
and
must
she's also
say.
active, and she asks
Very
questions in the
active.
parliament and all
Yes.
that. So it depends on the individual how much kind of time does he or she wants to devote, and also. The kind of this kind of connect with the grassroots, like Sanjay Dutt was kind of paratrooped on the kind of
Yes.
constituency,
Yes.
and
But doesn't it show their political naivete, their, you know, lack of understanding of how the political dynamics work, down dirty, murky politics, charges being traded, the kind of language being used? We've seen,
No, this is the failure of our political system, that we have come to such a pass that we have to bring a star or somebody to kind of lure the voters, to entice the voters, that they feel that there is no difference between the two. So that either I choose a star or a politician is not going to make a difference. So I should better go with somebody whom I know through a screen persona. Like Mr. Madhavan was saying, that some of them have been able to kind of come up with these kind of schemes and all that. So populist schemes, but they have worked. So it's better to take a chance with them.
Actually, to be a politician, you don't need a special qualification. As Mr. MGR's case is there. Like he came, he was a mega star, he came into politics, and now we are reminded of that he launched one of the best pro-people schemes in the world. Today, UNICEF is looking at that
At the
scheme.
scheme.
A lot of African countries are trying to copy that midday meal scheme.
Right.
It's one of the biggest, not one of the, it's the biggest free meal
Nutrition,
scheme,
yes.
nutrition scheme for poor in the world today. And I mean, it's done, it's initiated by a person who was an actor. So actually, you don't need special qualification for being an actor. They all, for being a politician, they all can come and join. But I think the difference is why people quit. That's my own personal analysis is why people like Amitabh Bachchan or Sanjay Dutt come and hurriedly quit after a couple of years, they just leave.
Right.
Because they have not come with their full heart into it. They have not applied their mind to it. When you come to politics, there is a certain decorum, there's a certain protocol attached to coming into politics.
Right.
So they have not done their homework and their heart is not there. Their mind may be there, but the heart is not there. Or it may be the other way around, and they are not able to live up to the standards that people expect them to be. They don't know what to say in public.
Exactly.
As film people, they are different. You know, say a different kind of lingo. When they come to politics, they cannot compete with others. You know,
Right.
so that is why they quit.
That's a very interesting point, and I wanted to lead you on to you know, another question I had, and a lot of viewers have been writing in on that. The fact that many of these neta turned actors turned netas have had a lot of foot and mouth statements. They have not been able to, like you said, you know, present themselves or have a certain sort of decorum in the public life as politicians. We've seen, you know, of recent, we've seen the Trinamool Congress, put up a candidate from Bengal who's an actor, Dev. He was, he got a lot of brickbats and criticism for his being in the political or election frenzies, like being raped. That remark was played over and over again, and he got a lot of, criticism for it. He had to withdraw it. Take for instance Raj Babbar, being a Congress spokesperson. He was talking about inflation and the country facing a lot of, rising prices, and he said, 5 rupees mein, 10 rupees mein, I can enjoy a good meal daily. So these kind of, slips that they make in their statements.
But so have kind of politicians also who are trying to lead the company.
Do they feel the impact harder? Do you feel people are unforgiving to these public
Of course,
personalities?
they are kind of used to making kind of saying dialogues and kind of rhetoric and all, scripted dialogues. So when there are kind of impromptu questions and all that, they kind of they get into a fix, a kind of like Nagma recently and Hema Malini is not coming with that chui mui image that they are carrying forward, which is not kind of required in the kind of in the hurly-burly of politics. So they have to be kind of careful while going into it, that they have to kind of make that kind of
Transition.
a direct kind of connection with the masses. So if they carry this kind of touch me not image, it is not going to work
In their favor.
I think they come with a lot of baggage. The problem is that, as Professor Prasad was saying it rightly, there is a constituency of aspirations.
Right.
See, when they come with, they bring in a lot of aspirations for the voters, for common people, and they are not able to match with that. Then I think their stock starts falling as politicians. So also I find many of them are not that thick-skinned, anything, say there's one attack on them, what did you speak, you shouldn't have said that, they withdraw because they are used to a kind of being revered by the people, being worshipped by the people. They're not used to being criticized by people in public. So they also develop, they
and
just...
the criticism mostly comes from the media, not from the people who are sitting in front of them. They are happy. They are happy listening to them. They play to the gallery and the gallery is happy.
Yeah.
So it mostly comes from the media.
Okay, so they seem to be making a good box office impact with the public. I'll just read in a few tweets that have been coming in. We have Pavitra who says that it's a free-for-all arena. The bigger the star, the more the votes, but luck is also a factor. We have Sarab Chadda who says that North Indians do not have much access to southern politics, and we hardly know what happens there. So a lot of people, Bengali industry is changing tracks to be, active in the political scenario, which says Debajit Adhikari. So a lot of people commenting on this topic. It definitely gets, discussed as a dinner table conversation a lot because of the glamour quotient that, these actors bring in. Any last thoughts? We are going to wind up the conversation, but any last thoughts possibly about how the Aam Aadmi Party, the newest entrant in...
Aam Aadmi Party has kind of has brought a kind of a new star culture. They are kind of going after
Younger.
the journalists. They are creating a new star cast kind of. That
Right.
They are going after journalists who are kind of very popular in their constituencies, that like Ashutosh and Shazia Ilmi, they have a kind of a constituency. People kind of revere them, people want to follow them, what they say. So they are bringing a new subcaste kind of that the bigger parties used to being stars, they are bringing journalists.
So we all have a chance to become leaders.
So in a way, they are also stars.
Right.
So
they have followers, they have
followers,
dedicated opinion.
And they haven't kind of spent much time at the grassroots level. They have not spent time as an ordinary worker of the party. So there's not much difference in terms of experience.
Right. Between these actors and
the
journalists.
star
netas.
journalists. So they may know a lot about politics, but there's no experience at the grassroots level.
Right.
So Aam Aadmi Party is looking at it in a different way.
And this time they've also had a lot of younger actors like Gul
Panag
Panag is
and,
being put
yeah,
up.
right,
So
right.
do you believe the younger crop of actors who have, like Amir Khan is going to be the icon of the election commission, appealing to voters to go out. Do you foresee this in the future, that a lot of the younger crop of actors, Bollywood or South industry will actually, like Chiranjeevi, of course he started at a very later stage, but there are younger actors backing Chiranjeevi, as a politician. Do you see that happening?
See, there's a lot of churning going on in the society, and I think that it's a failure of our politicians and the youngsters who didn't go into politics when they should have in the kind of 80s and the 90s, and that has created a kind of a vacuum. And these stars and these politicians and these journalists are trying to fill in that space. Time will tell whether they will be able to succeed or not, but I hope they the kind of we should start looking politics beyond the prism of like we are doing everything now, seeing through Bollywood,
Or glamour.
or glamour. I think politics should be is a much more serious subject and should not be seen like that.
On that note, I would thank you, Mr. Anuj Kumar and Ms. Asha Khosa for joining us and giving your interesting perspectives on this entire conversation. Last 5 decades have actually seen actors scripting new roles for themselves as netas, as politicians. Will they be able to strike a connect with the voters? Will the star power generate into actual votes for the parties that they are campaigning for? We'll have to wait and watch as the election frenzy takes over. Do write in and post comments on our website and our Twitter handle #IndiaPostLive and IndiaPostLive.com. We want to hear your voices. Thank you so much for listening and joining us.